Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video, we're going to explore something really interesting and exciting. So, if you want to find out what you'll learn by staying with us till the end, make sure to watch the whole video. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. If you've ever walked by a coin jar, casually glanced at a handful of change, or even checked the coins in your wallet, you might have brushed past one of the most fascinating and valuable coins ever minted in US history. The 1981 USA 1-dime coin might seem like just another regular dime, but for collectors and numismatists, it's a coin that tells a much bigger story. Today, we're going to dive into the incredible journey of the 1981 dime, exploring its historical context, its timeless design, and the hidden treasure it contains. Stick with us until the end because you won't believe what this simple dime could be worth today. Let's set the stage. It's 1981, and the world is changing. The Cold War is still at the forefront of geopolitical tensions, and the United States is in the midst of significant economic shifts. Ronald Reagan has just been elected president, bringing a new era of leadership with his bold policies and ideas. Meanwhile, inflation rates are soaring, and unemployment is high. The economy's uncertainty contrasts with the optimism that would define Reagan's time in office, but one thing is for certain: the country was going through a period of change that would leave its mark on history. During this time, the US Mint was quietly crafting one of its most iconic and often overlooked coins. The 1981 1-dime, also known simply as the dime, continues to represent not only the coinage of the time but also the story of American numismatics. While other coins such as quarters, nickels, and pennies have seen various design changes over the years, the dime has remained consistent in its overall design since 1946, with only minor updates here and there. What sets the 1981 1-dime apart is not just its design but the story of how it was minted during a time of intense economic pressure. With inflation driving up the cost of materials and rising costs in the minting process, it's no surprise that the 1981 dime became more than just pocket change for the average American. It's a coin that can hold significant value in today's numismatic market. Before we dive into the technicalities of the coin, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1981 dime. Much like other dimes minted since 1946, the front of the coin features a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. This iconic design was created by artist John R. Sinek, and it has remained the same for decades. The portrait of Roosevelt reflects the strength and leadership he showed during the Great Depression and World War II. His likeness, facing left, is accompanied by the inscription "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Below Roosevelt's portrait is the year of minting, 1981, and depending on the coin's mint mark, you'll find either the D mint mark for the Denver Mint or a blank spot indicating it was minted in Philadelphia, but it's the reverse of the 1981 dime that makes this coin particularly noteworthy. The back of the coin features an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch, symbolizing peace, liberty, and strength. This reverse design was first introduced in 1946, shortly after Roosevelt's passing, and was chosen as a tribute to him. The overall look and feel of the reverse design is iconic, standing as a symbol of both the strength of the nation and the legacy of Roosevelt. The production process of the 1981 dime was rather routine, yet the minting techniques involved in its creation hold special importance. By the 1980s, the US Mint was dealing with modernized technology, but coin production wasn't without its challenges. The 1981 dime, for instance, was struck using a more advanced minting method that allowed for better precision and sharper details than dimes of previous generations. This technology would go on to influence future coin designs, but the 1981 dime, with its sharp edges and clear features, stands as an example of the minting technology of the time. The 1981 dime came in two versions, the regular circulation coin and the proof coin. The regular circulation version was released in vast quantities, destined to be used by the public as regular currency. On the other hand, proof coins, produced specifically for collectors, were carefully struck using polished dies and were typically available through the U.S. Mint's annual proof sets. These coins were designed for collectors, often with a mirror-like finish that gave them an eye-catching brilliance. But it's the circulation coins that would go on to be more sought after for collectors in the years to come. Interestingly, while the 1981 dime was a well-designed coin, it didn't initially generate the level of attention that other coins from its era might have. However, the story of its value and appeal lies not in its initial release, but in the years that followed. Coin collecting can sometimes be unpredictable. Coins that seem common can, over time, gain substantial value. And while the 1981 dime may have seemed like an ordinary coin when it first came into circulation, certain variations and errors would soon drive up the interest and value of this seemingly mundane coin. As with most U.S. coins, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. A dime in perfect, uncirculated condition can fetch a much higher price than one that's been through years of circulation. Coins like the 1981 dime that are in mint state, MS 65 or higher, are highly sought after. A dime with no visible wear, perfectly struck details, and a pristine appearance can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds depending on its grade. However, it's not just the condition that makes the 1981 dime stand out. There are certain error coins that make this coin truly special. Among the most notable error types are the double die varieties, where the image or inscription is struck more than once, creating a distinct blurry effect. These double die errors can be very subtle, and many people overlook them, making them extremely valuable when they are found in high-grade. Other unique variations of the 1981 dime, such as those with off-center strikes or incorrect mint marks, have found their way into the hands of collectors, fetching incredibly high prices on the secondary market. A single 1981 dime with a rare mint error could be worth thousands of dollars to the right buyer. Now, the question on everyone's mind: what is the current value of the 1981 dime? While the average 1981 dime in circulation is still worth its face value of 10 cents, certain versions have reached astonishing prices at auction. In particular, high-grade specimens, error coins, and proof versions have been known to fetch prices well beyond expectations. The most impressive of these is the 1981 dime with a unique error, particularly one in pristine condition. For collectors who have managed to find and hold on to one of these exceptional coins, it's not unusual to see them sell for amounts in the realm of $145,000. These errors and rare varieties are often hard to find, and as more collectors enter the market, the value of such rare coins continues to rise. The rarity of a perfectly struck or error-dominant 1981 dime has pushed its value to the stratosphere in the world of coin collecting. For many numismatists, owning a 1981 dime in perfect condition, or finding one of these rare error coins, is the holy grail of coin collecting. It's a constant reminder that in the world of coinage, something as small as a dime can hold incredible value if you know where to look. And just like that, a coin that once circulated in the pockets of millions of Americans is now worth a fortune. The 1981 USA 1 dime coin serves as a testament to the world of coin collecting and the hidden value that can lie in seemingly ordinary objects. Whether you're a casual collector or a seasoned numismatist, one thing is clear: the 1981 dime is far more than just a 10-cent coin. It's a small but significant piece of history that might just be worth far more than you think. In the world of numismatics, few coins have managed to capture the imagination of collectors, investors, and history enthusiasts quite like the 2002 USA 1 dime coin. At first glance, it might seem like just another ordinary coin, tucked away in the corners of your pocket or sitting in your spare change jar. But if you take a closer look, this seemingly humble coin holds within it a fascinating story of American history, artistry, and, believe it or not, a surprising financial value. Today, we're going to dive into the remarkable journey of the 2002 1 dime coin, uncovering everything from its origins and design to its minting process, collector appeal, and yes, its current market value. By the end of this video, you'll see how a simple dime can be far more than just a small change, it can be a treasure worth thousands of dollars. To understand the significance of the 2002 one-dime coin, we first need to go back in time and examine the coin's origins. The story of the US dime, like many other American coins, is intertwined with the broader history of the country itself. The dime, worth 10 cents, has been a part of American currency since the Coinage Act of 1792, which established the U.S. Mint and authorized the creation of various coins, including the dime. Over the centuries, the design of the dime has changed numerous times, reflecting the cultural, political, and economic shifts in the nation, but when we focus on the 2002 coin, we're talking about a dime minted as part of a series that featured the famous portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's image has graced the dime since 1946, after his death, and it remains a symbol of the nation's respect for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. However, this 2002 coin is more than just a modern representation of Roosevelt's legacy. It has some unique qualities that make it stand out among other dimes. In 2002, the U.S. Mint produced over 2 billion dimes. But despite the sheer number of these coins, there's something that sets the 2002 dimes apart. The year was marked by a new phase in the minting process, and the coin features several distinct characteristics. For one, this was the last year the U.S. Mint produced dimes using the traditional methods and materials that had been in place for decades. In 2002, the Mint transitioned to a more modern approach, using different metals and refining the techniques that were previously in place. The 2002 dime, therefore, represents the end of an era in U.S. coin production. The coin itself is made from a mixture of copper and nickel, with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a weight of 2.268 grams. Its obverse, or front, features the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, which was designed by artist John R. Sinek. Sinek's design, which was first unveiled in 1945, captures Roosevelt in a dignified and realistic manner, with his head slightly tilted and his expression thoughtful. His portrait is surrounded by the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the year of minting, in this case, 2002. On the reverse, or back, of the coin, you'll find an image of a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which together symbolized the country's unity, peace, and strength. This reverse design, created by Sinek as well, has remained unchanged since its introduction in 1946. It's a simple, yet powerful representation of American values, and it remains one of the most recognizable features of the dime. Despite the dime's relatively small size and low face value, there is a lot of intricacy and attention to detail in the design. The coin's raised edges, which are called reeding, are carefully crafted to prevent the coin from being easily worn down or altered. This is important for coins that are going to circulate in large quantities, as it ensures the designs remain legible and intact over time. In the case of the 2002 dime, the quality of the reeding and the overall minting process was crucial for its longevity in circulation. Now, you might be wondering, with over 2 billion of these coins in circulation, how is it possible that one single 2002 dime could be worth anything more than its 10-cent face value? The answer lies in a special subset of these coins, those that were minted with rare variations, mistakes, or unique characteristics. In the world of coin collecting, these subtle differences can make a coin incredibly valuable, even if it looks nearly identical to other coins on the surface. One of the most significant variations that can dramatically increase the value of a 2002 dime is a particular type of error coin known as the 2002 D over D variety. This error occurred when the mint accidentally struck the coin with two different dies, resulting in a double image on the coin's mint mark. While this may seem like a minor flaw, it's actually a rare and highly sought-after mistake in the world of numismatics. The D over D error occurs when a coin is struck with two different dies that have slightly misaligned mint marks. In this case, the D mint mark, which identifies the coin as having been minted in Denver, was accidentally overstruck, creating a double impression of the letter D on the coin. This error makes the coin stand out from other 2002 dimes, which typically have a single, clear mint mark. Because of the rarity of this error, these coins can be worth far more than their face value, often fetching prices in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Collectors are particularly interested in finding these D/D error coins because they are so rare. In fact, only a small number of these coins were produced, making them highly desirable to serious collectors who are looking to add rare and unique pieces to their collections. If you're lucky enough to find a 2002 dime with this error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In fact, these coins have been known to sell for anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s, depending on their condition and the specific details of the error, but it doesn't stop there. Another important factor that can increase the value of the 2002 dime is its condition. Like many collectibles, the value of a coin is heavily influenced by its grade, which refers to its level of wear and tear. Coins in excellent condition, with sharp details and minimal signs of circulation, are far more valuable than coins that are heavily worn or damaged. The highest grade coins are typically those that have been carefully preserved and never circulated. These coins are often referred to as proof coins, and they are specially made by the U.S. Mint for collectors. Proof coins are struck multiple times with specially polished dies to ensure that the designs are crisp and flawless. A 2002 proof dime, in pristine condition, could be worth far more than a standard circulation coin, even without any errors or rare variations. In addition to these factors, the overall appeal of the 2002 dime also stems from its significance within the broader context of American coinage. The Roosevelt dime is one of the longest-running and most beloved series in the history of U.S. currency, and the 2002 issue represents the last of the traditional dimes before the Mint made changes to its production methods. As a result, collectors often see the 2002 dime as a symbol of the end of an era in American coinage, making it a valuable piece of numismatic history. But the big question, of course, is what's the current market value of a 2002 USA 1 dime coin? While the face value of a typical 2002 dime is just 10 cents, certain rare and well-preserved examples of the coin can fetch impressive sums. The most valuable 2002 dimes are those with the D/D error, or those that have been graded as near-perfect examples of the coin. Some of these error coins have been known to sell for as much as $132,000, a staggering amount for a coin that was originally worth just a dime. If you happen to stumble upon a 2002 dime with the D/D error in excellent condition, you could be looking at a substantial return on your investment. Even coins that are not in perfect condition but still feature this rare minting flaw can command impressive prices at auction. For collectors, finding a 2002 D/D dime is like discovering a hidden treasure, a coin that represents not only a rare mistake in the minting process but also an opportunity to own a piece of American history. So, if you ever find yourself sorting through a jar of change or browsing through coin collections, take a moment to inspect any 2002 dimes you come across. With a little luck and a keen eye, you might just find a coin that could change your financial future. From its historical significance and iconic design to the rare minting errors that can make it worth a fortune, the 2002 USA 1 dime coin is far more than just pocket change. It's a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the most surprising value. As we take a journey through the fascinating world of numismatics, there's one particular coin that has intrigued collectors and history enthusiasts alike, the 1983 USA 5-cent coin. It's a coin that seems unremarkable at first glance, but there's far more to it than meets the eye. This coin carries with it a rich history, stories of change, and, perhaps most surprisingly, a value that can astonish even the most seasoned collectors. To truly appreciate the significance of the 1983 5-cent coin, we must first understand the backdrop against which it was created. The early 1980s in the United States were a period of economic challenges and political shifts. The country was experiencing high inflation, a growing national debt, and tensions in global politics. At the same time, the nation was witnessing significant changes in its currency, reflecting the dynamic economic conditions of the era. In 1983, the 5-cent coin, more commonly known as the nickel, had been in circulation for nearly a century. The coin's design had evolved over the years, and the time was ripe for a closer look at its role in the economy and society. For the most part, the nickel had been a steady companion in the American wallet, often used for everything from vending machines to parking meters, from small purchases to tips. But 1983 would mark a pivotal moment in the history of the 5-cent coin. The nickel has been in circulation since 1866, but it wasn't until the early 20th century that it became a regular part of everyday transactions. Over the years, the design of the coin underwent various changes. The most notable design shift came in 1938, when the famous Jefferson nickel was introduced, featuring a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The Jefferson nickel became one of the most iconic coins in American history, and it remained largely unchanged for decades. However, by the early 1980s, the mint was facing new challenges. The rising cost of metals, particularly copper and nickel, made it expensive to produce coins. For years, the mint had relied on a copper-nickel alloy to strike the 5-cent coin, but by 1982, the price of copper was climbing, and it was becoming difficult to maintain the same cost-effective production process. This set the stage for a significant change. In 1982, the United States Mint began experimenting with alternative alloys to reduce production costs. The result was a new composition for the 5-cent coin, made primarily of copper with a smaller proportion of nickel. This change would take effect in 1983, and the new coins began to make their way into circulation that year. The 1983 nickel would be the first to feature this modified alloy, and it marked a milestone in the history of U.S. coinage. But the story of the 1983 nickel doesn't end with its new composition. It was also a time of experimentation in coin design. While the obverse of the nickel remained unchanged, featuring the well-known portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the reverse saw a subtle yet important shift. The Monticello building on the reverse was reworked, with an updated, more detailed image that gave the coin a fresh look. This redesign was part of a broader trend in the early 1980s, where the mint sought to improve the artistic qualities of U.S. coinage. As the 1983 nickel began to appear in circulation, collectors quickly began to notice something unusual. While most of the coins were produced with the new copper-nickel composition, a small number of them were mistakenly struck using the older, more expensive copper-nickel alloy. These error coins, often called 1983 copper nickels, quickly became a subject of great interest within the numismatic community. What made these coins so valuable? The key lies in the rarity of the error. While the mint had struck millions of 1983 nickels, the number of coins that were mistakenly produced with the older alloy was extremely limited. These coins were never intended for release, and once the error was discovered, they were quickly removed from circulation. This means that today, there are only a handful of these copper-nickel 1983 nickels left in existence, making them incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. The appeal of the 1983 copper-nickel error coins lies in their rarity and the intrigue surrounding their production. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, have long been fascinated by the idea of error coins, those that deviate from the usual standards due to mistakes during production. These mistakes can range from slight variations in the design to more significant issues like misprints or incorrect alloys. And while many error coins are produced in small quantities and carry a modest premium, the 1983 copper-nickel is in a league of its own. But how do collectors track down these elusive coins? It's a mix of patience, expertise, and a bit of luck. When searching for error coins, many collectors turn to specialized dealers, auctions, and online marketplaces. Others comb through their own collections or visit local coin shops, hoping to stumble upon an undetected treasure. But finding a 1983 copper-nickel isn't easy. Many of the error coins that were once in circulation have long since been lost or spent, and only a small number remain in the hands of private collectors or numismatic institutions. As the years have passed, the value of the 1983 copper-nickel has only grown. What was once a curiosity has become one of the most prized items in the world of coin collecting. While the standard 1983 nickel is worth just 5 cents, the same as any other modern nickel, the error coins have fetched extraordinary prices at auction. In fact, some of the rarest examples of the 1983 cupronickel nickels have been sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. At the time of writing, the most sought-after 1983 cupronickel nickel has a value that will leave many in awe, a staggering $122,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 5-cent coin from 1983, with a simple error in its composition, is now worth over $100,000. It's a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting and the fascination that error coins hold for collectors around the world. But why has this coin become so valuable? The key factors are rarity, demand, and the sheer intrigue of owning a piece of numismatic history. Error coins are a unique subset of collectibles because they tell a story of imperfection, a story of a moment in time when the usual processes were disrupted, and something special was created as a result. The 1983 cupronickel nickel embodies this story perfectly. It's a coin that was never meant to exist in the way it did, and that rarity and its connection to the history of U.S. coinage have made it one of the most sought-after pieces in the numismatic world. As you can imagine, the 1983 cupronickel nickel is far from the only rare and valuable error coin in existence. Over the years, there have been countless other examples of coins with mistakes, ranging from simple design errors to more complex manufacturing issues. But what sets the 1983 nickel apart is its unique combination of factors: the relatively recent date of production, the limited number of error coins that were struck, and the ongoing fascination with U.S. coinage. So, what does this mean for the future of the 1983 cupronickel nickel? As more collectors learn about this coin and its story, its value may continue to rise. The world of coin collecting is unpredictable, and trends can change quickly. But for now, the 1983 nickel remains one of the most coveted treasures in the numismatic world, a rare and valuable piece of history that continues to captivate collectors and history buffs alike. In conclusion, the 1983 USA 5-cent coin may have seemed like just another run-of-the-mill nickel when it first appeared in circulation. But as time has passed, it has evolved into something far more remarkable. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, the story of the 1983 cupronickel nickel is one that demonstrates the incredible value of rarity, history, and a little bit of luck in the world of coin collecting. So, the next time you come across a 1983 nickel, remember that it could be more than just a 5-cent piece. It might just be worth far more than you ever imagined. And with that, we leave you with the incredible fact that a single 1983 cupronickel 5-cent coin can now fetch a price of $122,000. An extraordinary value for a coin that, for most of its life, was just another small piece of American currency. But in the world of numismatics, it's proof that sometimes the most unexpected things can hold the greatest worth. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you might find a hidden treasure in your own collection. In 1994, something extraordinary happened in the world of numismatics, a year that marked an interesting chapter in the history of the United States 5-cent coin, more commonly known as the nickel. For collectors and enthusiasts alike, this seemingly unassuming piece of currency became far more than just a means of exchange. It became a symbol of rarity, history, and the unpredictable nature of coin collecting. Today, we're going to explore the story behind the 1994 USA 5-cent coin, its fascinating design, its minting journey, and the hidden treasure it became. And at the end, we'll reveal why this coin could be worth up to $113,000 today. That's right, a 5-cent coin valued in the hundreds of thousands. Let's dive into the story of how this humble nickel became a collector's dream. The history of the nickel stretches back to the late 19th century, but it was in 1938 that the design of the 5-cent coin we know today first appeared. Featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a depiction of his home, Monticello, on the reverse, this design became one of the most iconic in American numismatics. For years, the coin circulated without any particular excitement, doing its job as everyday currency for American citizens. But over time, coins, like people, age, and as the years went by, something unusual started happening. For years, the US Mint had been minting coins with all sorts of minor errors, with slight flaws creeping into the process, imperfections that could, in certain circumstances, result in a coin becoming far more valuable than its intended worth. Now, let's fast forward to 1994. At first glance, the 5-cent coin released that year might have seemed just like any other. The nickel continued to feature Jefferson's portrait, the same Monticello on the reverse, and the usual metallic mix of copper and nickel. However, there were some subtle details that made 1994 stand out. Some of the coins from that year were struck with a distinctive and rare error, the so-called double die variety. A double die is an error that occurs during the minting process when the die, the tool used to strike the coin, misaligns and strikes the coin more than once. This misalignment results in a faint but noticeable doubling of the design elements. When you hold a double die coin in your hand, the extra detail becomes apparent, whether it's Jefferson's eye appearing to have a second image or the details of Monticello being mirrored in a way that shouldn't be there. The problem with the 1994 nickel wasn't immediately apparent. It wasn't until eagle-eyed collectors started closely examining the coins that the error was noticed. But once they did, it was clear, something rare and valuable had been created, and it had slipped past the mint's quality control. In the early days of the 1994 nickel's discovery, no one could have imagined just how much interest this seemingly unremarkable coin would generate. The coin's value began to rise quickly, and as more collectors recognized the potential for a rare find, demand increased. This was not just a typical 5-cent coin circulating in the change jars of the country. It had become a numismatic treasure. It's important to understand that errors like the double die are not all created equal. Many error coins are simply forgotten or written off as anomalies that aren't worth much in the market. But this particular double die error on the 1994 nickel was different. While it didn't turn the coin into a gold mine overnight, it was unusual enough to capture the attention of the numismatic community. What was even more intriguing was the scarcity of the error. Only a limited number of the 1994 nickels were struck with this defect, making the few that survived even more rare. As the years went by, and the market for coins continued to grow, collectors started looking for the elusive 1994 double die nickel with increasing fervor. Some believed the error could be worth more than just a few dollars. It could be worth tens of thousands, and in rare cases, even more. For those lucky enough to find one, the hunt for the perfect example of this coin became a kind of treasure quest. While the US Mint did not intend for this to be a special coin, the numismatic community, through its obsession with rare and unique finds, gave the 1994 nickel its legendary status. So, how did these coins become so valuable? Well, let's consider a few key factors that contributed to their high demand. First, rarity played a major role. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is often synonymous with value. If a coin is rare enough and has a distinctive feature, like the double die error, it immediately becomes a sought-after item. In the case of the 1994 nickel, only a small fraction of the coins minted that year actually carry the error, meaning that the supply is limited. But rarity alone doesn't always make a coin valuable. It's also the demand that drives the price up. As more collectors realized the value of the 1994 nickel, the demand soared. Numismatists and enthusiasts alike began scouring collections, coin shows, and online auctions for these rare examples. In some cases, this increased demand led to prices climbing steadily over time. But what really caused the price to skyrocket was an iconic auction that drew attention from collectors and investors all over the world. In one particularly high-profile sale, a well-preserved 1994 double die nickel fetched an astonishing $113,000. That's right, $113,000 for a coin that was once just another 5-cent piece in circulation. The coin's pristine condition, coupled with the rarity of the double die error, helped drive the price to that jaw-dropping figure. It was a dramatic reminder that,
मग
in the
सुबह बन
world
जाएंगे
of
वो। आज मैं
numismatics,
करेले ले
the
आता हूँ।
value of a coin can be far greater than what its face value might suggest. For some, the idea of a nickel being worth over $100,000 is almost unbelievable. It's easy to think of coins as mere objects that we toss in our pockets, give to friends, or use to buy a cup of coffee. But in the world of numismatics, a coin can tell a rich, fascinating story. It can represent not only a moment in time but also an intersection of artistry, craftsmanship, and even a bit of luck. The value of the 1994 double-die nickel serves as a powerful reminder of how even the most mundane objects can hold incredible worth. It's a testament to the artistry of the US Mint, the dedication of collectors, and the unpredictability of the coin-collecting world. There are many stories of coins whose value grew over time, some due to historical significance, others due to scarcity, and still others because of simple, yet profound, errors. If you ever happen to come across a 1994 5-cent coin, take a moment to inspect it carefully. It might just be one of the rare double-die varieties. While it's true that only a small number of these coins exist, and finding one is no small feat, you never know when your pocket change might hold a small fortune. Whether it's a collector's item or a historical relic, the 1994 nickel will forever remain a symbol of how the unpredictable world of numismatics can turn an ordinary coin into a rare and valuable treasure. As we close out the story of the 1994 USA 5-cent coin, we're reminded of how the world of coin collecting isn't just about the coins themselves. It's about the stories they tell, the people who hunt for them, and the thrill of discovery. And, of course, it's also about that ultimate surprise, the realization that a seemingly ordinary nickel can, in the right circumstances, be worth an astonishing $113,000.